Joining us for AdEspresso's April webinar. I'm delighted to be joined today by Casey and Sebastian. They're part of the official Google team, so we're going to be hearing some strategy today straight from the horse's mouth. I'm going to let them do their own introductions, but first of all, I'm going to do a little bit of housekeeping for you. And of course, you can see on the screen there, today's webinar, we're going to be covering the best Google ad tools and settings for your business. So I'm Paul, I'm the head of training and education here at AdEspresso. And before I hand over to Casey and Seb, most common question we get asked is, are we recording? And yes, we are. So if you're watching the live session, we'll try and send you the replay by email afterwards. Sometimes for whatever reason, the emails don't reach everybody. So you can also see the replays on adespresso.com/webinars. We post those up within 24 hours after the live session finishing. And also we've got a YouTube channel, just search for AdEspresso and you can see this webinar and all previous webinars, they're all free to view on there as well. And then this is going to be an interactive session. So you should see on your GoToWebinar panel, a little questions box. I'm going to be monitoring that. Also, my colleague Tori is going to be monitoring that. So any questions, just pop them in as we go along. Today's presentation, it depends, but it'll probably be about 45 minutes, and I'm going to leave a little bit of time at the end for Q&A. So I'd like to welcome Sebastian and Casey. Welcome. Both of you, and I'm just going to also hand over control to Sebastian in a second. There we go. Hi, Sebastian. Hi, Casey.
Hello. Hello, Paul. Hello to the AdEspresso community. Really happy to be here. Seb, are you ready to roll?
Ready to roll. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, you want to go into present mode?
Awesome.
Seb, you want to go into present mode? Yeah, perfect, great. So I'm Casey, I'm joined by my colleague Sebastian, and we're here to talk to you about how you can achieve success for your business, even more success for your business with Google Ads tools. In terms of an intro, again, my name is Casey Lynn. I'm originally from Vancouver, Canada, but now a Toronto-based partner manager leading the Google partnership with AdEspresso. And I've been working with AdEspresso and Hootsuite for a little over a year now, but I have been with Google for a few years. And prior to that, I spent most of my career working for companies that serve the SMB space, some actually Google partners, who focus on helping business owners and marketers overcome challenges, navigate the digital space, and drive sustainable and profitable growth. Really happy to be here with you, as well as the rest of this great engaged AdEspresso community. Seb, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, thank you, Casey. My name is Sebastian. Been with Google for about 4 years, currently based in Toronto. I've been here for about a year, working as an account manager on the same team as Casey, supporting our channel partners in Canada. Before Google, I spent some time working for different marketing technology vendors within the social and the search space. And yeah, very happy to be here with you all today.
Great, thanks, Seb. So what can you expect from us over the next 40-45 minutes? First, we're going to set things up. I'm going to state the obvious when I say it's clear our world has changed dramatically over the past year. And with it, how we as consumers engage with businesses and access products and services, well, that's transformed big time. And the product of this is what we refer to at Google as a once-in-a-generation digital acceleration for both consumers and businesses. And it's created a pretty dynamic environment that business owners and marketers really have to get our heads around in order to navigate it. So to be most successful now and into the future. So we're going to talk about how Google Ads tools can really help you out here. And we'll follow that with a bit of a deep dive into some of them. And we'll make sure that we contextualize the best we can for everyone joining us today by anchoring their usefulness across each phase of the marketing journey. And then, of course, as Paul mentioned, we'll have some time at the end for some Q&A. So let's dive in. So I'll start with a bit of an overview, and then we'll take a look into more details around each of the tools. Next slide. So as I said, the world's a very different place in the wake of the pandemic. And our behaviors as consumers and marketplace dynamics have transformed in a big way. Next slide. Owing to the pandemic, we've observed a monumental shift towards digital, with the majority of us now spending significantly more time in the work from home and e-learning environments. And these changes in consumer behavior and marketplace dynamics brings an immense opportunity to tap into, honestly, and making it critical for businesses to really, pause, and rethink your go-to-market and your marketing strategies. We've seen a lot of that over the past year. And B, leverage the key insights in learning from 2020 to inform a winning strategy for 2021 and beyond. Next slide. So to say the least, it's been an interesting time and fast times, busy times, specifically through the digital marketer's lens. There are a number of to-dos on our lists that command attention so that we can effectively and efficiently respond to and leverage trends driven by this digital transformation, from providing business and marketing insights, up-leveling our discussions to have even more strategic discussions as we plan for the future, ensuring that we're helping to put programs together that drive profitable and sustainable growth, and help manage businesses at scale. Next slide. So in the face of all of this, now more than ever, fast execution, trusted data, scalable insights, they're all critical factors in achieving success for your business and for your marketing plans. And at Google, we've got a host of tools that can really help you out here. We have many tools, and I'm sure that, I'm not sure about you, but especially when the pandemic hit, I found myself almost overwhelmed by new resources and tools that came my way to make my life easier, but I found myself a little bit stumped on where to prioritize. Sometimes a bit of guidance as to where to focus and why is really helpful. So that's what we're aiming to do today. So the tools that we're going to cover today, they're tools that we see as being the most powerful in helping you be more effective, be more efficient, and more insightful as you approach your Google Ads marketing program. So, one, our tools support increased effectiveness by helping you to identify and prioritize the biggest opportunities, the most impactful opportunities based on your specific marketing and business goals. They also can help you be more efficient and accomplish more in today's changing, fast world with minimal manual effort and increased time savings. Basically, these tools can help take the busy work off your plate. And finally, 3, our tools help you be more insightful by helping you be prepared to satisfy the ever-changing dynamic behavior of your customers with best-in-class data and insights that we can provide through our tools. Next slide. So, with 2021 being the year of digital acceleration for all of us, Google tools can help you do this really well across all phases of your marketing programs. Now, to be specific, you can use Google Ads tools like Performance Planner and Keyword Planner to plan effectively, the AdEspresso platform and Google Ads platform to implement efficiently, our Test My Site and Grow My Store tools to optimize your digital presence, and we'll say it's relatively new, the newer optimization score to very efficiently optimize for growth. And finally, we'll cover off the mobile app. I'm not sure that many are aware of the mobile app that we have for Google Ads, as well as the insights page we have and explanations functionality that you can find in the Google Ads front end. And these are all designed to help you monitor, stay up to date, in the know, monitor ongoing trends in real time, and obviously be given the opportunity to act on those trends. So before we jump in, I will note that we will review each of these, but we're going to spend most of our time today covering the tools that support the planning and optimizing phases of your marketing strategy. So Seb's going to start. He's going to cover off the planning and implementation tools, and then I will join a little bit later to introduce you to the optimization and monitoring tools. So with that, I'll let you take it away, Seb.
Thank you, Casey. Yeah, just as Casey said, we'll start off with the planning tools, going through a market finder, keyword planner, and a performance planner. So market finder is a relatively new tool that we launched a couple of years ago. It helps businesses discover and learn about export opportunities within your industry. So I think this is very timely, as a lot of businesses have been moving from an offline business model to an online business model at a crazy rate the last year for obvious reasons. This is a tool that really lets you tap into the opportunity that e-commerce offers. So it uses Google's signals as well as your website and some other inputs that you add into the tool to show you different options of where you could go next with your business in terms of exporting to new markets. So it makes it easier to really see what the options are and to prioritize and compare different countries. And it's personalized for your business and your industry. So what you will be seeing in this tool when you use it is as I said, it's customized based on your business. So in this example here, it is a jewelry business in Canada we're looking at, and you're not seeing the whole page here, but just a snapshot of one view. Yeah, what you will see is not only the demand in terms of absolute numbers within your industry and subsets of your industry in different countries, but also learn about specifics in consumer behavior in certain markets. So you maybe want to pick one that's similar to the market that you're currently active in. You will learn about logistical nuances of certain markets, payment systems that you need to be aware of when going into a new market. So it really tries to give you a holistic view of what you need as a business to export to other markets, and not only focus on advertising. So what you'll get as well when you use Market Finder is a score. So for specific markets, you can see, okay, how ready am I to go into this new market based on the criteria that I just mentioned. So you'll get like a checklist with different categories, competitive position, as well as how the nuances works in consumer behavior and logistics and payments and so forth, as I mentioned. So you see where you're maybe lagging behind and need to fill the gaps before you enter this market. So I recommend you all to check this out if you're considering maybe expanding into new geographical markets in your business. The next tool we'll go through is Keyword Planner. And I think this is a tool that a lot of people are familiar with, especially if you've been doing search advertising, for a while. Keyword Planner is really, a tool that allows you to go in on a micro level and understand what's going on in your industry in the Google search landscape. So it's a very good tool if you're starting out, or if you want to understand from a search advertising perspective or an organic search perspective, the dynamics of your industry. So it comes to researching the demand that's behind categories or certain keywords, like how much consumer demand is there for different products that I'm selling or different services that I'm providing. what's the competition for those categories, etc. So you can do planning on where to go, what to focus on. Is there a niche that you think where it's you're more likely to achieve success, and so forth. So if you're considering starting to advertise and search, this is a good starting point just to familiarize yourself with how the landscape is looking. And also, if you're a current advertiser, this is a great way to stay on top of trends. So, let's say, capturing new categories within whatever you're selling. So if you're selling sneakers and there's a new trend going on, this is a great way to spot those trends and seeing where are the upticks in demand going, how is it shifting. Because maybe this maybe you need to take this into consideration both in what you're offering, but also in where you're spending your marketing dollars. So Keyword Planner is a great tool for that. Another planning tool that we offer in the Google Ads platform is Performance Planner. So Performance Planner is say more personalized to you than Keyword Planner. It looks at what's currently in your advertising account and allows you to model different scenarios based on your input into the marketing. So this works across multiple campaigns, and if you're running several accounts, it also works on an MCC level, like a master account level, where you're housing multiple accounts. What Performance Planner really does is to help you visualize and understand what you can achieve with your current marketing budget and the goals that you have. So it allows you to play around with different inputs to understand what hypothetically happens to my campaigns if I tweak my investment or tweak my profitability goals that I have. How does that affect the bottom line that I'm trying to achieve? So you can kind of paint up different scenarios and pick the best one going forward. It's obviously great for sharing your marketing plan with stakeholders or your clients if you're an agency as well. So you can do these things and model these things out before actually making changes to your campaigns. So some of the key benefits and use cases for Performance Planner is really to, as I said, maximize the opportunity for growth by simulating different scenarios. So seeing like what will happen to my campaigns if I increase or decrease targets and investments, and how should I maybe change budget from one campaign to another to achieve the greater overall goal that I'm looking at. Second one, increase efficiency. Again, it takes a lot of time to model these things by yourself. So here you get everything automated, and also you don't have to make the changes to the actual campaigns, which it takes time to see the results from. So here you can model it up and get the estimation before actually doing any changes, which can be very useful. And aligning with market demand, the third box there. There's a lot of seasonal trends within many industries, and usually, or in a lot of cases, marketeers have like a static budget. So this will allow you to see, within a year or a quarter, like maybe you should allocate most of your budget towards a certain period where consumer demand is higher, and it takes all those things into consideration to make sure that we maximize the overall return from the period that you choose, rather than just having a static budget over the year or over the quarter. Another very good use case for Performance Planner is to do yearly or quarterly planning and export this data so you can share with your stakeholders. So if you have a upcoming budget review for next year or next quarter, and you need to to build different plans for your manager or for your clients or whatever it might be. This is a great place to start to build different of these scenarios. Just keep in mind that this data is fresh, so it updates all the time. So if you build a yearly or a quarterly plan in Performance Planner, best practice is to go and check in more frequently, weekly if you can, to see if you're still using the latest data, or if there's any changes in the dynamics of the market in terms of costs or competition, etc., that changes your plan. So you can update it to stay on top of those things. Going on to the implementation section, as Casey mentioned, we won't be focusing on implementation today, since this is a heavy topic, but obviously you can implement all these things that we're talking about in different tools, such as AdEspresso, which lets you implement most Google campaign types, search display, and it will also let you optimize with recommendations that they have within the platform, as well as a team of experts that can help you. You can tap into the professional services that they offer there as well. And obviously Google Ads, our core platform for everything ads related on Google. This is where you implement your campaigns, obviously, but this is also where we house a lot of these tools that we are presenting to you today. So you will find the Performance Planner and the Keyword Planner in Google Ads. So even if you're using AdEspresso, say to manage your campaigns, you can still access Google Ads and go there to use Performance Planner, for example. So summarizing the planning and implementation section, we've been over how you can plan from an export level down to a keyword level for your business, and implementing these things, you have them running. The next stage is to look at how you can optimize your advertising. So Casey will be going through these 3 tools with you on the optimization topic. Over to you, Casey.
Thanks, Seb. So as Seb mentioned, so you've got your plan, you've implemented your plan on AdEspresso or within the Google Ads front end. How do we make sure that your program and your plans are running to their full potential? So I'm going to cover 3 optimization tools today. So number 1, we're going to talk about, just briefly, Test My Site, which many of you might be aware of already. It's been around for a while. And also a newer tool that we have called Grow My Store. So that both of these tools can help you optimize your digital presence. To help you efficiently optimize your Google Ads campaigns, we're going to dive into Optimization Score. So first things first, Test My Site. So as a company, we at Google, we spend a lot of time thinking about how we can help make the web faster, especially on mobile, and more frictionless for users. You are likely aware that page speed on mobile is a ranking factor for organic mobile searches. So if your mobile page is chronically slow, it will impact your organic ranking on Google search. So for those of you who are ready to invest in a faster mobile experience or can use a little inspiration, this tool can really help you. So the Test My Site tool, basically, you can use it to test your mobile speed. It will surface speed and user experience tips, but it can also help you compare your speed against your competitors' sites, and also help you evaluate the return on investment that you can capture through investing in a faster site. And from our perspective, and not just from Google, but as a consumer perspective, any investment in removing friction and increasing speed in your mobile experiences that you deliver to your customers is money well spent. Next slide. So I want to introduce you to a new tool that we've launched to better support retail businesses, as many have established or built out their e-commerce presence in the wake of the pandemic. Next slide. So Grow My Store, it provides insights and recommendations around how to improve your retail or e-commerce website. It will give you a diagnostic on your site across 6 dimensions, along with industry benchmarks and UX recommendations, tips, and tricks. And just to note, if you're curious around what dimensions the tool will look at and provide input around or recommendations around, they'll look at your product information, personalization, they'll look at how flexible your fulfillment options are, your customer service and experience, the security on the site, as well as, of course, mobile friendliness. So, and I will mention, we will be sending through a follow-up that will include instructions and a bit of a landing page where you can access all of these tools. Or, of course, you can just Google it. So shifting gears, let's talk about how you can boost your efficiency with optimization score and recommendations. So just pausing here, it's not just because I'm presenting this section. I think Seb will agree, if there is one tool that we share today, we recommend you prioritize getting to know this one. And I'm going to do a bit of a deep dive here to show you, how it works, what it surfaces, how to use it to its best potential, so you can see why we say that. So in essence, optimization score, it's an estimate of how well your Google Ads accounts are set to perform. And the score runs from 0 to 100%, meaning that 100% meaning that your account is optimized to perform at its full potential. And it will surface relevant growth and optimization recommendations and estimates. I mean, the great thing is it estimates the impact of implementing these recommendations on your account performance, and it does it in real time. So recommendations, they're real time, responsive, and ththey're scalable across your accounts. So it helps you prioritize and take action on the recommendations in as little as one click for the most part, which will save you time, of course, to focus on more strategic things. Next slide. To dive in a little deeper here, optimization score, it balances growth, efficiency, and repair recommendations to help you drive your short-term and long-term performance. And these recommendations, they span across 5 elements. 1, bidding and budgets. 2, ads and ads extensions for efficient creatives. 3, keywords and audience targeting. 4, conversion tracking and repairs. And finally, 5, an automated campaigns such as smart display campaigns and smart shopping campaigns. Next slide. So the algorithm that supports the tool uses estimated campaign impact to help you prioritize your recommendations. So this means that the actions with higher impact on marketing goals will have a higher score uplift. So it makes it a lot easier for you to sift through the recommendations and figure out where is the best place to focus your attention on. So to illustrate, next slide, please. Awesome. To illustrate, let's say your marketing objective is to generate leads. So the optimization score, it will focus on actions to achieve that by surfacing recommendations around how to A, improve your ROI by increasing conversions with a smaller relative cost. B, improving your presence in creatives to help your ads convert better. And 3, C, grow your reach by showing your ads more often to the people that are searching for what your business has to offer in the markets that you're offering them. So that just kind of brings it to life a bit. So that said, your input absolutely matters. The system really needs guidance as to what your campaign's objectives are, so it can make sure it's surfacing the right recommendations that are relevant to you. Now, to identify your campaign objectives, optimization score considers your current account settings, your bid strategy, as well as your conversion type, which of course can range across sales, store visits, website visitors, etc., to infer what your campaign objectives are if they're not explicitly stated. So it's really important because obviously sometimes if they're not explicitly stated, we need to make an inference. So your current account or current campaign settings and their related performance are also taken into consideration. And of course, it's important to note that though the tool will do the busy work for you in surfacing recommended improvements and making it, super simple to implement, often in one click, you are still fully in control, and you decide which ones to apply, which ones to dismiss based on what your reality and your priorities are. So you can always validate the recommendations across your strategy, your marketing objectives, and the parameters before implementing anything. And it's an important point to make, right? Like marketers and automated products, we need to work in partnership because they have different but complementary roles to play. And Google's done a very good job, I would say, of building features within the products that allow automation, advertisers and marketers to access automation, but also the opportunity to make sure that they're exercising as much control over their campaigns as is available. Next slide. So I wanted actually to call out this newer opportunity to, again, potentially remove some of the busy work off your plate. So of course, we've had Optimization Score for over a year now. I think it's been in play, and we spent over a year testing and fine tuning the tool, best practices, and now been in a position where we can introduce a new way to help you save time and increase efficiency. And that is through opting in to automatically apply a set of recommendations. Now, this is not a blanket opt-in. You, again, have full control of the types of recommendations that you would like to have automatically applied as they emerge. And obviously, they're not going to include budget-related recommendations. You need to go in and make those decisions and implement those changes, but really more focused around the standard account hygiene practices. So to check it out, you want to go into the Google Ads front end, recommendation section. On the top right-hand corner of the page, you can see it here actually on the screen, you can select the auto apply icon, and that will surface a list of recommendations types that you can choose to opt in on. So I encourage you to take a look at that, and if there's some standard more account hygiene areas that you would like to have applied in real time, this would be a great way to action that. So in terms of best practices, we recommend, this is changing all the time based on a number of factors. So, check the recommendations page on the Google Ads front end on a very regular basis, maybe diarize it in your calendar. It will reflect new recommendations as they arise based on shifting auction demand, changes in the market. For example, recommendations like add new keywords can really help you capture more traffic from new search queries. We've seen a lot of new search queries in the past year. So this can help surface those recommendations to ensure your ads are as relevant as possible and you're maximizing or you're realizing all the potential in your programs. Secondly, obviously, as I mentioned, we assign a score or a related uplift from implementing each recommendation. So you can use the score to identify and prioritize the biggest opportunities for optimization and growth in your accounts. And it's important to note the score, for those of you who manage more like multiple accounts, it's aggregated up from the campaign level to the manager account. So you always know which recommendations are estimated to have the biggest impact on your accounts. And again, when you're looking at how you're investing your focus, this will help you prioritize. And finally, take a look at opting in to apply some of those more account hygiene recommendations automatically. Save you time and ensure best practices are applied as they arise. Again, not related to budget changes, more account hygiene elements, but you can opt in and elect which of these elements you're good to have the tool auto apply. I'm gonna take a sip of my water. Now let's shift gears, let's talk about monitoring tools. I'm gonna brush over Google Analytics, our mobile app, the Insights page, and Google Ads explanations that you'd find in our front end. First, Google Analytics. So we can't have a section on monitoring tools without calling out Google Analytics. And I assume if you're already running Google Ads programs that you're familiar with this tool. And honestly, we could devote an entire webinar or multiple webinars on this one topic. So for time's sake, I'm just going to call it out today. And I'm also going to let you know that we are planning 2 webinars that are going to cover the topic of measurement and attribution. Obviously, a lot of changes happening in the ecosystem, very important changes. So we are working through 2 sessions on measurement and attribution. One is coming very soon. Seb will talk to you a little bit about it before we jump off today. But stay tuned for the invites and some of the primers and information that we are putting together to send through to the AdEspresso community to keep you well informed and give you as much access to the most relevant information as possible. Shifting away from Google Ads Analytics, let's talk about our mobile app. Next slide. So put simply, the Google Ads mobile app, it helps you stay connected to your campaigns while you're on the go. You can set up to receive real-time notifications such as weekly performance summaries or ad disapprovals, which are, you want to be moving that along. You don't want that to be sitting there. So it gives you an opportunity to have these things flagged in real time. You can also make changes right in the app. So for example, you can get notified when your optimization score changes and with the related recommendations, and you can actually implement changes right from the app while on the go. So if you haven't done so, I encourage you to download it wherever you download your apps and check it out and see how it can work for you. Okay, the Insights page. So this is a newer feature on the Google Ads front end. Next slide. You can take a look at it here. So the Insights page, again, new destination, the Google Ads front end. It helps you tactically monitor KPIs and competitor shifts, and essentially more strategically align your business and advertising strategies with the constantly changing market trends. Over time, this will become a destination for you to get custom insights for your business, including audience, forecasting, and competitive insights. So that's coming soon. This is definitely a work in progress. But for now, to help you identify where demand is shifting, we focused in and prioritized launching a search trends insights page. Next slide. So the search trends insights section, it's going to help you quickly identify and respond to areas of search interest and inform some of your business and marketing strategies. You can use it to uncover new trends as they unfold and identify potential growth areas. It will help you to identify if you're keeping up with demand or where there might be, potential for incremental growth. It will also help you discover trends related to your business, specifically to your business based on, what you're running currently, but highlight areas where that might be of interest to you where you don't currently show ads. And it will also prompt you to consider inventory, promotional, and landing page strategies based on trending user interest. Next slide. So in a nutshell, the key benefits to taking a look at that insights page on the regular, it helps you stay ahead of trends by providing access to trends curated for the things that are relevant to your business and your industry. You can prepare for what's next via weekly, monthly, and yearly trends that are updated daily to help keep up with demand. And it will also highlight and identify new opportunities via suggestions to help you expand. So if you haven't already, I strongly suggest you check that one out. Google Ads explanations. Next slide. So Google Ads explanations, it gives you insights into large changes in your ads account performance. If you ever figure out things have changed dramatically in how my campaigns are performing, I'm not sure where to start in terms of finding a root cause. This will help you very quickly highlight it. So if you see a significant fluctuation in performance for your search campaign or ad group, explanations can help you quickly find out by what happened. You see the illustration here on the screen here. You just scroll over the campaign, and there'll be a pop-up that will identify what's going on. And I will call out also that this function or feature is only available for search campaigns that use the manual CPC, enhanced CPC, or target CPA bidding at the moment. More to come on that. So in terms of key benefits of explanations, obviously it doesn't need explanation really. It really helps you quickly diagnose issues, get a more accurate and it gives you a more accurate and comprehensive view of all of your accounts and campaigns to help you diagnose possible reasons for changes in the campaign or ad group's performance. It's all in one place, so it helps you save time. You don't have to go cross-reference reports, checklists, or other tools. You can view explanations directly in the campaigns or ad groups table you can check for significant performance changes and really understand what's happening. And all of this put together, of course, you'll find it to be an efficiency booster, saving you time. Next slide. So to summarize, you can optimize your digital presence using Test My Site and Grow My Store, and optimize your campaigns with oftentimes one-click implementations on recommendations that are surfaced by optimization score. And from a monitoring perspective, to ensure everything's running in the best way possible, the Google Ads mobile app will help you keep an eye on your program while you're on the go. The Insights page can help you stay ahead of trends to prepare for what's next. And the Google Ads explanations, as I've just covered, can help you save time through making it super, super easy to not diagnose performance changes as the market dynamics shift. So hopefully you'll find something in there that's of use, that's net new information or a new way to look at these tools and features that can help support the optimization and monitoring of your programs. I'm going to hand it over to Seb, who will cover some key takeaways as well as next steps, and then we'll move into the Q&A. Seb?
Thank you very much, Casey. Yes, as Casey said, really hope that you found something among these tools who will be useful for you, and yeah, check some of these tools out. If you don't know where to start, have 3 next steps for you here. So first one is to go to Performance Planner and see based on your campaigns today that you're running, play around with the different inputs that we have, in terms of like investment, profitability targets, and other metrics to build up different scenarios. Is there any way that you could increase the bottom line metrics that you're trying to optimize for by making changes? And it's a great way to illustrate that. Second one, go to the optimization score section in Google Ads and look at the recommendations. Apply some of the ones that make sense, dismiss some of the ones that does not make sense for you. And this is a great way to start using that tool to see how that affects your campaign performance. Third step, after a few weeks, go back to the Insight page in Google Ads to see and visualize the changes that's been made and what impact they had on your campaign performance. So after having a few weeks of the campaigns running with the new settings that you applied from optimization score, you can see what the impact was and what it means for your campaign performance. As Casey mentioned on the Google Analytics section, this is too of a big topic to squeeze into this webinar. So we are looking to do 2 of them. On the first one being a foundational measurement and attribution webinar that we will be hosting very soon on May 13th. So just a few weeks away. So please look out for more communication from AdEspresso about this. We will be going through the foundations, as I said, of measurement and attribution, which includes different kinds of conversion tracking options. So Google Ads conversion tracking versus Google Analytics tracking. Go through different ways you can set this up. So you can use, for example, Google Tag Manager. You can use the one Google tag. There's a few options there. So want to clarify, the difference, the differences between these and what you should be using. Going through different attribution models to make sure that you are attributing the results that you achieve from your marketing efforts to the right activities, which is crucial for understanding where to invest and tie that to your business goals. Bidding to the right conversions. So from a search advertising perspective, for example, like what type of conversions do you focus on, and how do you make sure that you use our automated bidding to optimize for the right conversions in your analytics account. And some hygiene best practices from Google Analytics in general, where to find stuff, how do you track things, etc. So please keep an eye out for that one. Another resource we want to promote is the Grow with Google site. So this is a localized website where you will find resources that are specific to your market. So it's country specific or region specific. So this is where we're housing, links to a lot of the tools that are applicable for your market. We have learning sessions, courses you can sign up for. There are Google certifications that you can enroll in from the Grow with Google site, and there's a case studies from your local market. So this is a great site to check out as well to find more specific resources that might be relevant in your market. Please check that out. With that, we'll be going over to the Q&A section, which Paul will facilitate.
Hi Seb, hi Casey. Thanks for that really good presentation. Lots of really useful, actionable tips on what tools to use. So I'm just going to make myself presenter for a second. There we go. So just before we get into Q&A, just to let everybody know that if you need some kind of one-to-one actionable help there, we do have a team of experts here at AdEspresso. We can be doing one-to-one strategic sessions and also review individual campaigns at a tactical level. Those are available within AdEspresso. They're available both for Google and for Facebook and Instagram advertising. So if you're interested in those, they're available in the services tab of AdEspresso. You can book them there. If you're not an AdEspresso customer already, then we do have a free 14-day trial, and this is exclusive for our webinar viewers. You can get a 30% off code as well. Use that unique link there, adespresso.com/AE-webinar. Also got lots of comments here, just complimenting Seb and Casey on their good presentation. So thank you for that kind feedback there. As usual, lots of people asking for the recording so they can review all the tools that you've mentioned. So we'll host that on adespresso.com/webinars within 24 hours. We sometimes get it up the same day, but definitely next day we'll host it there. Also, we send it out by email, but if you don't get that for any reason, we've also got our YouTube channel. Just search for AdEspresso and you can see our channel with all our previous webinars as well. So just one last slide before we get into Q&A. Just a little heads up on the next webinar that I'm doing. This is on 27th of May, and this is going to be on Facebook and Instagram Creative. So just going through sort of Ad Creative 101 on how to design some high performing ads there. As usual, that's on adespresso.com/webinars. So let's get on to questions. Thank you everybody for submitting those today. We've got loads of great questions coming in. So for time, I'm going to pick some of the best ones here. So Seb and Casey, first question we got is, how is the recommendations page optimizing for my goals if I don't have smart bidding implemented?
I can speak to that one, Seb. Yeah, obviously, when you're setting up smart bidding campaign bidding strategy, you would be setting it up to optimize to a specific goal. So you're explicitly stating what your goal, the goal of your campaigns are. But as I mentioned, we will infer that, or the tool will infer that. So using inputs like account setup, the history, the performance, we'll use these signals to infer your goals and provide the most relevant recommendation based on the goals. Obviously, we don't always get it right, and that's where we need you to, obviously go in, review to see, action the ones that are relevant and dismiss the ones that aren't, and it just helps the tool get even smarter around, how to surface the right recommendations for your campaign. So, and just to use an example, like, a customer, you don't have, as an advertiser, you don't have to have conversions enabled in order for us to infer a goal type. So like we will look at, like, if you have your campaign's running and generating a high impression share, we might see a target impression share recommendation, since we might infer that your goal is to drive impression share on your campaign. So there's a variety of signals that we would take, and we're getting better all the time as the tool is in play for, for longer.
Excellent, thank you. And switching gears now, I've got a question about Performance Planner. So what conversion types are included in the Performance Planner?
Yeah, thanks for the question. I can answer that one. So it depends what you're tracking in your account and what you've identified as the conversions that you want to include in as the main conversion goal. So there's a section in Google Ads in the settings called conversions, and within that you can choose which of the conversions you're tracking you want to include in the modeling. So this says including conversions. You can say yes or no, and whatever you have selected there decides what the Performance Planner will forecast towards or use as the forecasted conversion. So you can control that in the conversion section of Google Ads.
Thank you, Seb. And moving on to the next question now. How's the optimization score calculated?
Yeah, the optimization calculation. Well, I can tell you I don't calculate it. It's actually the system. The system will identify potential opportunities to improve your campaign performance. And depending on the estimated impact of these recommendations, the system will runs an algorithm that will surface new recommendations if a campaign is eligible for said recommendation. I can talk to you a bit about like the dynamics of it. I can't really speak to how it's calculated specifically, but it's run through like perceived impact within each individual campaign. So it might go up or down as you grow with Google Ads and more advanced opportunities are identified. Seeing a decrease in your score, that would indicate the system has identified new headroom that you could consider. This new headroom could be a result of like a new recommendation or change in the campaign's eligibility. Often, and we've seen it a lot in the past year, a change in auction dynamics, like an increase or decrease in competition, of course, seasonality, as well as a shift in your spend mix.
Awesome, thank you. And another question we got coming in is, will the score of the individual recommendations always add up to exactly 100?
Actually, it won't. So there are instances where the score, so basically, if all individual recommendation scores were summed up, it could add up to over 100. And this is because some recommendations will, when they're implemented, they'll invalidate others. So for example, if a campaign is on manual bidding, but has conversion tracking enabled, the campaign could be eligible for both target CPA and enhanced CPC recommendations. So, if the advertiser implements a target CPA on the campaign, they would get the full points of that recommendation, but that would obviously invalidate the eCPC recommendation, and the points previously assigned to that recommendation would no longer be available. So that's kind of that's how it works.
Excellent. And for time, I've got one last question here. So I've got a user asking if you can export a media plan from the performance planner so you can review that. And I guess that's going to be something that's asked for quite a lot if you've got to share things with a wider team. So is there any way you can export there from performance planner?
Short answer, yes, that's possible. You can export the model scenarios that you've set up through CSV, so you'll get all the data and can work with that further in your spreadsheet.
Thank you. So I think that's all the time we got for on questions there. So I'd just like to say again, thank you very much to Seb and Casey and the wider Google team for all their support for AdEspresso. Thank you everybody for joining us as well. Remember those replays, just go to our YouTube channel, search for AdEspresso or go to adespresso.com/webinar. So thank you everybody for joining us today.
Thanks everyone.
Thank you.